Hello, this is Mitch King with the Monday evening, December 21st, 2009 Daily Stock Report. Here's the Dow 30, had a nice rebound today, up about 0.8% with a variety of good news that occurred today. Intel stock was upgraded along with Alcoa, and the Nasdaq Composite really moved up on that. Here's the Nasdaq Composite making higher highs. And it looked like it was set up to do that yesterday, but a nice pop today, up 1.2% as Intel spread throughout a lot of the tech stocks and really moved this index up to a 15 or 16-month high today. The Nasdaq Composite really is taking back leadership of the indexes compared to earlier this year. It also did the same thing. We also had one of the Fed Reserve governors state today with an interview on CNBC that there's likely to have 3 or 4 meetings before any type of discussion to increase rates. Gold also dropped, and as well as the US dollar. So these factors together really helped set a good tone to the market in a really bullish stance. And as you guys already know, we're long quite a few stocks and short just really one. Here's Pepsi. Stopped out at $60 on Friday, dropped down below 59, and then here it's rebounding. Looks like it's a real nice rebound here for a few more days. Got a 4% dividend on Pepsi, probably a little less than that now. When this was purchased at $56, when this was posted on the stock table at $56 some months ago, that was a 4% dividend. So now that it's run up to as high as 64, that dividend yield is probably about 3.7 to 3.6%. Usually the trailing stops keep us from having large losses, and that's why we recommend to have a disciplined approach to having these trailing stop losses for the swing and intermediate trades, especially since you can't watch a lot of these at the same moment that you're long or short, and it keeps us out of trouble. In this case, it probably worked against us to have a stop because Pepsi has been a very strong stock for all year and real favorite for a lot of mutual fund managers. Starbucks coming down a little bit from Friday's big move up. Here's CBD looking for a move upward from this point here, a Brazilian grocery store chain. Here's MasterCard making a higher high today again. Very strong stock. And even though we don't have Visa, we still follow this stock because it's in the same category as MasterCard. Here's Mylan, generic drug manufacturer. Nice move today, up 3.6%. Looking for a higher this week. PMC making a higher high. Finally getting moving. Looking for this to start getting up into the 16s. It's been a real slow mover. BTU acting real well this last week. Here's a gold stock, AUY, that we attempted to swing trade last week and had a couple good days at first and then stopped out at the price that we purchased. So this is definitely heading lower. Gold dropped today substantially. I think it's just around $1,100. Dropped below $1,100 for a moment. But we're looking for these gold stocks to have a nice swing trade up here eventually when they stop dropping. So keep an eye on these gold stocks. And there's probably 4 or 5 listed in the stock table. Here's Valero, VLO. It's an oil and gas refinery starting to move up. Had a higher high, up 2.4% today as gold moved over $75 a barrel. And looking for ING to get over that 1050 mark to 11 and could start building some momentum over the next week or so. Here's NUVA starting to move up. NUVA had a higher high today with a high of almost $31. Looking for this to continue to move up here, $32, $33. Looking for that here in the next couple weeks. Here's Dell Computer, moved up 2.7%, that Intel upgrade. So this is acting real well. D.R. Horton, residential construction, starting to move up really nicely the last couple days. Not looking for this to hold on for a long period of time. We still see a downtrend if you draw one here, and looking for this to hit this trend line and possibly drop back down, and we're just holding this for a matter of days. Here's that bull short we've been working twice, and today was the short sale as a second entry point. It did hit that high 8, just below $9.04, which was that previous high. So at $8.90 was today's high, and then it fizzled out. Then it dropped down to $7.55. rebounded up, and then we emailed you toward the end of the session today as a possible shorting point of a very small short position, and I'm expecting this to dribble down here at a slower rate, possibly down to below $6 in the coming couple weeks. And it takes a while for these to break down from this point. It's a lot slower, so be more patient compared to the first time we saw this hit 904 and then 658 3 days later. Very typical pattern. This is pretty much how most of these work. And again, this is high risk, high reward strategy. Really recommend the advanced and experienced traders to handle this, not for the beginners. And make sure you read and study this through the Wizard training course on video. It's got 4 hours of recorded video on this technique. Really need to study this before you jump into it. The key thing with these bull shorts is not to get leveraged early on and have some ammunition on the side or powder dry to add to your short position as this moves up, because these can go against you a day or two. You got to have a really wide stop and have a high risk tolerance personally to handle this. But if you get leveraged on this, these can really take you apart. So you guys take care, put the odds in your favor, don't get leveraged, and we'll talk to you tomorrow night.